Okay.
Hello.
No, 1 second.
You stop stretching.
Yeah, right,
Okay. Hello, welcome to Real Opinions. Today we're reviewing Jupiter Ascending. You alright? You look like you're in pain already. Do you want to try and give it a little rundown of the plot?
No.
Yeah, there is a plot. There's Mila Kunis plays Jupiter Jones. Why is she called Jupiter Jones?
Russian, maybe. And
She has a Russian family. She's a toilet cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, for some reason, aliens try and steal her.
Proper little green men aliens.
Little green men aliens. And then Channing Tatum saves her. He's a genetically spliced super soldier, part wolf, part man.
He spends a lot of time snarling.
Yes, and listening with pointed ears. He looks kind of like a Vulcan or something with those ears.
Yeah.
And he has
an
unnecessarily blonde beard. It's really bizarre.
Mm.
So yeah, he saves her life, and then it turns out she's like the rightful heir to be owner of Earth.
And then they fly off into Flash Gordon meets the Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Where there's lots of political stuff, but it's very camp.
Between this mad family with these three siblings, all of which are fighting over ownership of Earth. One of them's that girl that used to be on Channel 4 sitcoms, but is no longer on Channel 4 sitcoms. One of them's a guy that I don't really recognise, but a lot of people do. I think he was in the Riot Club.
Okay.
And one of them's Eddie Redmayne.
Ready Edmayne.
See, that's kind of... There's a lot of other stuff as well.
Jesus Christ. It's
it's a mess.
It's such a... how many pages was the original draft?
300, over 300.
Over 300 pages. Yeah.
And considering, to people that don't know, most scripts work out about a page a minute.
Yeah.
So that's like over 4 hours, 5 hours.
So suffice it to say, a lot's been cut, and so you end up with random plot elements out of nowhere that aren't really contextualised, but you just have to sort of go with it, like, oh, so he talks to bees, okay.
Yeah, they cut bits like that out.
And then there's a 10-minute tax montage.
There's an entire montage where they go through, like, this weird town hall bureaucracy place, and they go from, like, counter to counter, being like, oh, you need a tax form, oh, you need a change of title form, and that goes on for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it probably does. Actually does. And they save time for the amazing romance scenes.
Oh, my.
It's like I have a compass that's pointing at Mr. Wrong, but when I'm with you, it's the polarity of the compass is reversed so that it points in a different direction at the person that... Jesus Christ!
And when Channing Tatum, there is legitimate... I mean, it's in all the trailers, so people have probably seen it, but when Channing Tatum says, Your Majesty, I have more in common with a dog than you, and that doesn't put her off.
Right. I love dogs.
She goes, I love dogs. Let's get into a bestiality type relationship just because you're still hot.
So it's terrible.
It's
in
terrible.
So many different respects.
Yeah.
Like things that you don't normally think should be terrible in a film of this caliber. Like the creature design is
most of like the weird
people
bad
with big
soldiers.
ears.
Yeah, there's people with big ears. There's the elephant pilot.
The elephant pilot
is hilarious. And then there's...
I wanted his reaction to every event in the film. So like when there's a celebration, he goes, nah! And when there's a sad bit, he'll go, nah!
It's baffling, really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's the whole thing is so baffling. At the end of it, I just wow.
The worst thing about it, though, I think, is that even though there's all these ridiculous things, like the elephant pilot and the stupid lizards and Eddie Redmayne being the most ridiculous hammy thing ever, it's just so dull. Like Mila Kunis and Channing Tatum basically sleep through the whole thing. They don't do anything other than just say their lines at a considerable tone.
Some of the action sequences are okay.
Yeah,
like
the action sequences are well shot.
The opening one going through the city is actually, I'd say it's a solid action sequence. Like, when I saw that, I thought, oh, it could be like The Phantom Menace, where everything else is awful, but we have, like, amazing action sequences like the Darth Maul fight and stuff like that, but no.
The visuals
you have that bit, and then that's it.
The visuals are quite good.
They're good, but they're very... Like, obviously, a lot of stuff is very CGI now, but it's very, like, you never see... Yeah, CGI. It's always people walking in front of CGI backgrounds.
Although, having said that, there are a few creations that are kind of cool. Like, the ships look really cool just in their design, because obviously they're going to be fully CGI anyway.
Fine.
I like them. They're like giant galleons. And the one thing I think that kind of gives it a bit of positivity, Channing Tatum has those space skate things. Cool. They're like anti-gravity boots.
They kind of represent what could have been like the Flash Gordon-y side of the film. And if it just went more that way and dropped all the political bullshit, it could have...
Eddie Redmayne might have fit in a bit more.
Yeah, because everyone else is, like you said, everyone else is sleeping through the film, for lack of a better word, and then there's Eddie Redmayne doing, I don't know what he's doing.
The complete opposite.
I have no idea what he is doing.
Basically giving, supposedly in his eyes, I think, the performance of his career.
That planet belongs to me. It is my right.
This bit where he does an evil smile, and he leans right up into the camera. There were laughs across the cinema at this point. He like leans into the camera, and he does this like, I can't do it, but it's kind of like a...
And you said you weren't going to do an impression.
Of his voice.
Oh, of his voice.
His voice. Yeah. I can't. But I wish I could, because otherwise I'd be like everyone else doing it. He represents the film at its best and worst.
He's the most entertaining part of the film, I'd say.
By far.
Whenever he came on screen, I was like, yes! But just because he was so bad. Should we just go straight to ratings?
Yeah.
What are you going to give it?
2.
2?
Yeah, I think it's this generation's Battlefield Earth.
I don't think it's that bad.
I do.
I wasn't like in pain watching it. I didn't want to get up and leave. A 3 or a 4? Probably a 3.
I think you should go for a 3.
Yeah.
It does look competent. That's what gave it the 2.
1 point because Eddie Redmayne was so ridiculous it was entertaining. 1 point for the space skates. And 1 point because I could tell what was going on most of the time.
Could you?
Most of the time.
Credit to you then. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Most of it. To be fair, I did watch Taken 3 a few weeks ago. So in comparison to that, everything seems a lot better.
We have 50 Shades of Grey coming though.
Yeah.
January.